Hi, welcome to a mini lesson on how to multiply a two-digit number by a two-digit number. It's using an area model to kind of show kids how you can break numbers apart and still multiply them together in another form other than the traditional shortcut method. If you were to look at multiplying 47 times 35, for example, let's say that's our problem that we need to solve. We can draw out a rectangular square that shows these two numbers broken apart into their tens and their ones pieces. If I break this box apart going up and down so that there are two pieces, I can put my tens spot here and my ones here. So if I look at 47, there's four groups of 10, which would be 40. And then I'd have to add 7 to it to get my 47. If I break apart my 35, I need to also make a tens and a one spot. So I break it apart and I have three groups of 10 for 30. And then I'd have to add in my 5 ones to keep it at my 35. Then I can look at the tops and the sides of the box to multiply each component part. So for instance, if I do 40 times 30, that's very simple for the kids to do because it's also products of 10. So all they need to do is multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. They recognize that there's 2 0 placeholders. They have to have those 2 0 placeholders in their answer, and that's 1200. Then they've got 40 on the side and 5 on top, so that's going to be the same as 40 times 5. Again, it's a product of 10, so they do 4 times 5 is 20. They have 1 0 placeholder. They add their 1 0 placeholder, and the product of 40 times 5 is 20. Now I've got 7 on the side of the box and 30, so it's going to be the same as 7 times 30. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 0 placeholder I added in, and I get 210 in that box. Now I've got 7 on the side and 5. 7 times 5 is a quick multiplication fact, 35, and you now have the multiplied sections of each part of those numbers. Now all I got to do is add them up. So if I add 1200, 200, 210, and 35 all together, I can add zeros to make sure that everything's lined up. 5, 4, 2, 4, 6, and 1,645. If you wanted to check your work, you could do the old traditional method. So if your son or daughter does it this way, you could go ahead off to the side and multiply 47 times 35 to see if they've got it right. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry a 3. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. I'm done with my ones. I cross it out. I drop a 0 placeholder because I'm in the second number. I need to be lined up underneath that second number. 3 times 7 is 21. Now I'm carrying a 2. 3 times 4 is 12, 13, 14. And then I add them together just like I did up here. 5, 4, 6, 1. 1,645, and you can see that either way that you do the multiplication problem, you will end up with the same answer. Thanks.